your system of after you acquire 15 people on your team, you bolt. What is your theory behind this method of selling the company once you are satisfied with how it looks?
Well, that's a really interesting question, and I think it's just a personal preference, and quite frankly, I have to grow beyond it. Early in my career, I indeed ran. My background was I was an electronic engineer, and then I got my MBA, and I went to the corporate world. I was a perfectly good executive that went bad. About halfway through my career, I got very dissatisfied and realized it wasn't in alignment with what my true passion was. So I left actually several large, big companies. I was general manager of About.com and general manager of Mitsubishi here in the U.S. And so I know very well the big company dynamics. What I discovered is my sweet spot, my pure level of interest and passion, and what I was exceptionally gifted at was the creation process of taking straw and weaving it into gold, of being a rainmaker. I dub 4 categories of individuals in the process. The first is the idea guys, idea. Have ideas all over the place, jumping all over the place. Very seldom do those individuals actually translate the idea into business reality. The second guys are the rainmakers, guys like me, that take some concept or idea and then with duct tape and baling wire put something together. And it may be ugly, it may be crude, but literally breathe life into something and make it happen. Then there's the third set of guys that come along and they systemize it. They take our duct tape, they take our baling wire, and they actually put gears in place and get the velocity increased. The fourth level is systemizing that and protecting it, locking it down, buttoning it down. I actually am really good at the first 3. I'm particularly good at number 2. So my preference for 15 is I just love the creation process. With 15 employees, I can get 15 employees behaving like 50 to 100. But after 15, I kind of lose touch a little bit with them. And that being said, the next phase of my life, I believe I will grow beyond it. But the last 5 to 10 years, I've just had a hoot growing teams from nothing to about 15 and then transitioning. So I think part of everyone's exercise needs to be identifying what type of individual are you? Are you an idea guy? Are you a rainmaker? Are you a system guy? Or are you a protect it and lock it down? And then align yourself in a business in that phase.
Ideally, you would like to belong to more than one of these 4 categories, but what if you're just one? What if you're just the idea man?
Couple with someone that implements. You don't couple with an attorney. It's a great point, and I think one of the main teachings that I have in Zig Zag is blend your ingredients properly. Although I don't bake cookies, so I'm told if you put the flour and the sugar and the water and everything in wrong, then it comes out really bad, even though you have all the right ingredients. I know that's the case in businesses, blending your ingredients proper. If you're an idea guy, don't couple with an attorney or an accountant that's going to want to button and lock everything down. Who you couple or partner with is the rainmaker. I'm primarily a rainmaker. I'm pretty good at ideas, and I'm actually pretty good at implementing also. But recognizing who you are and then plugging in that sequence is very, very appropriate. And also the phase that you come into a company. If you're a pragmatic, lock it down, button down guy, don't go into an early stage company. Come into a company that's just going through the growth phase and starting to really ramp that and needing to protect. So understanding yourself well enough to know where you plug in and insert is just a key part of success in entrepreneurship and business in general.
Can you ever see yourself settling down on one company in the future?
Yeah, I absolutely do. On a personal level now, my mentor keeps calling it, he says, Rich, this is a perfectly good hat trick, went bad. How many are you going to do? 32, 35, 50, 55? At what point have you proven that you can do it? And so indeed I am at a very interesting stage in my life now where I've ran really large companies. I've proven the bootstrap model, and I now have a really fun exercise. Hopefully I'm teaching a bunch of other people how they can start something and scale it up. But I've either got to deploy that model and get in a model where I'm really massively helping people deploy their bootstrapping models, or and I think that this is the more likely is move into a model where I'm building 1 or 2 more meaningful companies, because most of my companies grow to 4, 5, maybe 10 on the high end, $15 million, and then I exit them, and I need to move beyond that model.
Aside from the 3-step process that we talked about earlier, what is the main idea that you want people to get out of the book?
Well, I think that obviously the Zig Zag Zig is the key component of it, which is first thing you do is you set a guardrail, you focus at something, you drive hard to profitability. And you sequence in these zigzag zigs. Number one, you drive to profitability. Number two, you add resources and process. Then you put a scale element in place. As I sequence that event, I put 65% of my resources to the first zig, 25 to the second, and then 10% to the next. Exactly like I would hike a switchback or ski down a mountain or even go down a road. Most of your effort is right at the zig in front of you. And so that sequence of first thing you always do, set your crazy big hairy goal out there, knowing that you're going to get it, assess the resources where you're at, and then don't go directly for your goal. Drive to profitability. Operating in the black, being profitable, being viable. So if there's really one message that is shared, is that critical sequence of events. Number one, drive to profitability like a bat out of hell. Number two, add resources and processes. Number three, then put the scale in element. The only other comment that I would make is in the guidance system portion, how important it is to put the guardrails around you so that you know when you've crashed to keep you in bounds. And that coupled with reward systems, both for yourself and your employees, it fixates you on the goal and it makes magic happen in your business.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Rich. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today.
My privilege. Happy to do it, Allison.
For more information on the Zig Zag Principle, visit our website at Kidela.com.